All right, guys, what's going on? Whoa, sorry, guys, what? I've got something pulled up on my phone. What's up, guys? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are well. We're going to jump into the charts here tonight. Look at Bitcoin. Is she going to pump? Is she going to dump? Where is she going? And can the wave structure tell us anything? Yes. Wave structure can give us some ideas and we can trade. So we're going to look heavily at that. So I hope you guys are well. Let's see here. I'm just getting my phone ready. I got to see the chat on my phone. So I'm at my dad's house in Virginia. I'm not at my house, so I don't have my setup that I'm used to having. So it's going to take me a bit to get set up and get acclimated here. Let me know I got good sound with the microphone. And let me know there's good video as well. Just kind of get me going here. Let me see about the live chat. Yeah. There it is. Got it. All right, good to see you, Keith. Looks like you're the only one around. Everything getting better. Well, what's going on with Dad is the oncologist has backed off a little bit. The tests he had done seem to indicate that possibly what's on his lungs is not cancer, but an abscess, and it's a form of infection that's been surrounded, kind of surrounded by tissue. It's kind of there, right? And so they want to remove it. So chances are they're going to go in surgically and take that thing out Tuesday or Wednesday. So things are looking better, guys. He's eating better, which was a big deal because he was malnourished, and he's drinking and he's getting around. He's looking stronger. So praise the Lord for just his grace in that area. So yeah, thanks for asking about Dad. Appreciate it. Let me know. Let me know about the audio and video. Just make sure. What's up, James Bond? How's Puerto Rico, bud? How's dentistry out there? Are you staying busy in mouths? Hey, J Mark. Good to see you. There's 17 of us here. We'll just kind of keep tracking as you guys pop in, and we'll get started here. Hit the like button. Let everybody know you like Sunday Night Charts, and let YouTube know to push the live tonight. Maybe we'll get some new viewers. It'd be awesome. I've been losing viewers instead of gaining them. I guess it's because I don't put enough videos out. Sorry, guys. I try to get motivated to do it. Just life gets in the way sometimes, and I guess if you want viewers, you got to put out content. So I spent so many years putting out content every day. Happy Father's Day to you. Haven't seen any feedback yet on my audio video. Let me know. Let me know it's okay. Somebody let me know the audio and video is good. All right, here we go. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at Bitcoin tonight in depth. We're going to just step back. Again, as we always do, look at the Bitcoin chart, see what it's telling us from a Elliott wave standpoint, from the RSI. What that's telling us, what wave structure is saying to us, what current events are saying in light of that, how it correlates with the DXY, with the dollar index. So we're going to look at those things. We're going to look at Ethereum and how Bitcoin correlates with Ethereum, XRP. We'll look at ADA. We will look at just a multitude of cryptos together. We're going to also look at where the S&P 500 is sitting, along with Tesla and natural gas. I got those queued up, ready to rock. So we got a good live ready for you tonight. Just a good overall look at the market and talk about where we think things are going and how we might trade it. So. Do I need to turn my gain down or up? Help me out with the audio, guys. Help me out with the audio. Do I need to turn anything down or up or what? Johnny English, what's up? David Joseph, thank you for liking. Appreciate it. Happy Father's Day to you guys. I've got 3 kids of my own, and they're not here. I'm not here with them. I'm here with my dad, though. So praise the Lord, he's still with us. And, yeah. Don't touch the gain. Okay, I won't touch the gain. You guys can live with the audio. It's a it's a $30 mic, cardioid mic from Walmart. I just did it because the mic that I have at home, I didn't bring it with me on the airplane. So anyway, it's hopefully this is doable. We can live with it. All right, guys. Well, let's get started. Don't forget, I am not your financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice, and I'm not here to tell you whether I'm going to be right or not. What we do as Elliott Wave traders, we look at the wave structure along with other factors, particularly the RSI. We say, okay, what is that telling us as far as where price might be going as far as wave structure? And we give possible scenarios, wave shapes that you could actually see in the chart with price targets. We correlate that with liquidity, and then we go from there. All right. Thanks, Chimo, for the feedback on the mic. What's up, Crypto World? I haven't gotten on Twitch yet. I'll have to see about Twitch. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm, I don't think they like me a whole lot. They don't push my videos much. But I don't pump them out like I used to. I don't pump them out like I used to. If you want them pumped out, got to come to the Discord, guys. I put 2 a day, 2 lives a day, and I put my heart and soul into those things. And I just want to take care of those people that are supporting me through Patreon. So thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, here we go, guys. Let's zoom out, look at the Bitcoin chart. Start out looking at the daily chart. It's pretty interesting. So the daily is forming a on the RSI. It's particularly. Get off my screen. There we go. The daily is forming a bit of a descending wedge here. Okay. In fact, you can kind of see it right there. Boom. We're kind of staying in this little tightening range, and we have bonked our head. It just depends on where you want to draw that line too. But right there's a pretty decent place to draw it. We've kind of bonking our head here, depending on how you draw that line. The momentum to the upside is finding some resistance here on the RSI. So we might pop back down to make another low, or we break out to the upside. So that's really what we want to watch on the daily. If you get a daily close, guys, if you get a daily close above this line right here, that's going to be bullish. It's going to be a bullish indicator. It needs to be a close, and it needs to have some continuation following it the next day. But that's going to be kind of a confirmation. Hey, man, things are looking pretty bullish. So we're on the precipice of a potential breakout here to the upside in the RSI, which gives us a little bit of a preamble to price breaking out. Okay, we've also got a kind of a descending wedge, as people like to call it in the pattern world, where we got a little line here, and we're coming up on this trend line. We're coming up on it. Probably we're going to come back and go up and retest it. Okay, when we look at just price trending and price momentum, we want to see breaks of the pattern as we come up and bonk our head and find this diagonal resistance to the downside as far as the pattern is concerned, if we break that to the upside, it's letting us know, hey, this downward momentum that we've been experiencing is now changing. We've overcome that pattern and we've broken out of the trend to form a different wave, and that's letting us know the wave structure is pointing as a different way. Generally speaking, you will see a breakout of the RSI first before you see a breakout of price. You'll notice that this trend right here, I said last week to pay attention to that trend. We're looking like we could break out to the upside here, but watch out, we could break down as well. And sure enough, we broke we broke out to the upside. But we haven't cleared the major trend that we see here, the longer term trend. This was just how do I say it, the short term trend. And you'll notice that we broke out of the trend on this candle. Well, let me see if I can get to it. This candle right there, that green candle, was the breakout candle. Okay? The next candle confirmed it because we closed that candle bullishly. But there's a little bit of an indicator saying, hey, we're looking up here. We're looking like we could break to the upside here on the daily. Okay, so that's what the RSI is kind of telling us here. Now we're bonking our head back on this trend line here and say, okay, are we gonna get a breakout here to the upside? Are we gonna get on this current daily candle? Is there a chance this thing pumps and closes above tomorrow, closes above this trend line, or is it gonna pump, wick it, and then reverse? Because if within the daily time period of the chart, if within that daily time we get a retrace back down, the RSI will reset, it'll retrace. In other words, you could see at any given time today, if we get a pump here, a green candle that rejects and comes back down fast before tomorrow's daily close, you could see the RSI looking like it's breaking, and then all of a sudden tomorrow you see it close and it's looking like this instead. If it looks like that instead, that means we had a fake out or we had a final wave to the upside, finishing a structure here, which we'll talk about what that would be on the Elliott count, and then a continuation back to the downside, staying within this larger trend, even though this trend right here we have broken out of. Okay, this downward trend here, we've broken out of that one. But we haven't broken out of the larger trend yet. Price hasn't broken, and the RSI momentum indicator hasn't indicated we've broken out of this pattern that we've been in, up, down, up, down, up. Now we're staying within that trend right now, and so we really need to pay attention, guys. You're going to want to pay attention to this daily break. Okay, if we break to the upside and close, okay, that we want to see the close as well. If we break and close beyond this line, that's going to be an indicator, hey, we're looking a little bullish. Pay attention, this thing may be going up deeper, okay? Got the coffee, so I'm rocking. All right, how we doing? Let me just make sure we got a good signal. Excellent. All right. Now, so with that said, so pay attention from an RSI standpoint. That's just a good way on the RSI to track momentum and to give you a bias of a direction to be trading on the smaller time frames. Okay, if we're breaking to the upside on the daily, then we're possibly looking for this thing to be continuing on bullishly. That doesn't mean it can't have corrective waves and multiple days that are red. It doesn't mean it can't have those kinds of days. It just means that momentum will have, if the momentum closes above this line here, it means that this larger trend has now been broken out of, and we're in some other kind of trend that may have up and down oscillation as well. It could be corrective as well, but we're in a new trend that we need to pay attention, and the direction would be up in general. Whether it's impulsive or corrective, time will tell as we just watch how the waves develop. But that's what you're going to be watching trend. All right, looks like I disconnected and reconnected with the OBS. Let's just make sure we're good. Looks good. Just make sure we're still doing okay. All right. I'm still trying to pull my chat back up, so I somehow lost it because I'm stupid. How we doing? You're still with me, guys? Let me know. There we go. Good deal. I'm back. All right, I'm back. Very good. I don't know. Something happened. Got disconnected. All right, so that's just the first thing. Just not talking Elliott at all. Just saying, hey, what's the momentum telling us here with the RSI as we read the RSI on the daily chart, okay? Let's just back down now to the 4-hour chart. This is where the big boys trade, okay? And you'll notice, get rid of some of these trend lines here, or remove the drawings. You'll notice that we're bonking our head on the overbought area. We're playing around. We got a little bit of rejection today, you know, as we've been playing around here. The question we have is, from a wave structure standpoint, is this a rejection that's going to continue trending down, or is this just a 3-wave pullback where we get more pump to follow? We're going to look at the wave structure and talk about the different ideas there. I shared some ideas this morning on a small, I basically just uploaded a little video I created for my Discord, but I made it public for everybody. And it was just something I had made originally intending just for the Discord exclusively. But I thought maybe it might help you guys, so I went ahead and just made it public for everyone to see. Okay. We'll talk about those ideas in just a moment. I have some very good ideas that I like here, and you might like them as well. Okay, so we'll do that. All right. All right, so the 4-hour, we've kind of oscillated back to the upside. You'll notice that we did break out of this kind of trend here. We've broken out. Now we've retested it. We're coming back down to the 50. There's a good chance, guys. I mean, if this wants to break out bullishly and start moving impulsively to the upside, there is no problem for this wave just to start, the RSI to start pumping. And price to pump faster. Okay, and the RSI could be pumping. It could get all the way up to here in price, and price could come all the way up here if it wanted to, pull back kind of deeply, let the RSI pull back like that, and it could go up again if they wanted to take it up and just like send it up. If they wanted to moonshot it, they could totally do that here in the 4-hour, no problem. They've done it plenty of times in the past. Here's an example right here of where they gave us a very bullish wave. Okay. Very bullish wave. Even when, let me show you how the RSI played out on this. In fact, if you study the chart on previous moves, it'll kind of let you know how price could be moving now. Okay, for instance here, we were very oversold here, very oversold, and we started pumping, okay, and then you'll notice that when we got to the peak right here, it was really overbought, right? But you'll notice, guys, that it was overbought right here on the chart at this little 3-wave shape. That was a 3-wave shape right there. And so after that 3-wave shape, that looks corrective. We're thinking, yeah. And I think it was close to the 50 or the 618. It hit the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. So you'll notice it's bonking its head here, finding a little bit of a 3-wave move to the downside. Now, let's see. What retrace did that find itself hitting? It found itself hitting it around the 50, okay, the 50 retrace. Didn't quite get to the 618. But the point is, we had a 3-wave shape of that wave. It was pretty straight up, but it was 3-wave. And the RSI was really really pretty cooked to the upside. It was, you know, it was hitting at almost 80, you know, on the and bullish momentum. That's pretty overbought, guys. And so what did price do? Well, all it did was pull back just a little three-wave move right there. That little dip right there back to the 70 mark. And then boom, the next move was just that little small tiny move on the RSI. But look what price did in that small tiny move. And then it went sideways and up, creating this movement here. So you can see on the RSI, you can be all the way up here and just get a little bit more movement here, sideways and up on the RSI in the overbought regions, and price can pump, and it can pump beyond what you expect it to or think it should. Okay, so we understand that can happen, and the fact of where we are on price, you know, with the RSI where it currently is, we have plenty of room to the upside, plenty of room for a pump. So there's nothing saying, hey, we can't start making our way to the upside. Nothing saying it at all. In fact, right now we have a three-wave shape, very similar to a three-wave shape that we had right here. We're getting a bit of a pullback here. I would not be surprised at all. To see this thing pump tonight and even give us a big pump out of here with a big wave, something like that, getting moving. That would be a dream of mine. I would love to see that. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, I can't say, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just say it that way. Is it going to happen? No. I don't know. But could it happen? Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. You'll notice we're sitting here around 52 right here on the RSI. Man, there's all kinds of room right now for this thing to pump up the jams as high as it wants to go. So one of the counts on the table here is that we have a finished correction, a finished bull flag that just played out. It's done. It came and found support. Found support here at the top of this wave. We broke out of this range, hit 30, found some resistance. We've corrected and taken an awful long time to correct. An entire month and a half of correction. Actually, it's almost 2 months of correction. In fact, it's definitely 2 months. The middle of April. Now we're at the middle of June. We've got a 2 month correction here, just waiting for price to do something. And it's just been going up and then getting sold off. Going up, getting sold off. More than likely a reaccumulation area. If you're bullish, you're looking at that from a Wyckoff standpoint as a reaccumulation area where it's looking bearish. People are taking profits, and rather what market makers are doing, reaccumulating after maybe selling off. They're reaccumulating in these little areas right here. You know, a little bit of a better price. Who knows? This could be a bull flag, collecting. You know, making a nice base here for us to pump out of here this direction. If they want to pump out of here, and if this starts to get kind of be a straight up, I would correlate it to something like this, okay, where you have a three-wave shape right now, okay, but this starts pumping up out of here, okay, after this little three-wave correction, that would be just fine, and the market would do just great in such a scenario, okay. Okay, so that's on the table, guys. That's on the table. Now, what would be the Elliott wave count for that as we count this wave? Well, I've got two ideas for you. One, now somebody put some kind of crappy comment on one of my videos. It was just absolutely crappy. And those of you out there that study Elliott, and you don't think this market supplies you with expanded flats that go to the 3618 and sometimes even the 4618. I mean, listen, you're not going to find that in the textbook saying, oh yeah, that we look for 3618 extensions on expanded flats. You won't find that in textbooks, guys. No, but the fact of the matter is you've got You've got anomalies in this market that do it. Okay, you've got 3618 flats. I'll show you two of them, just right off the cuff right now. I see two of them right on the chart that you just have to pay attention to. That it doesn't stop at the 2618; it'll go through the 3618 extension. Okay, the first expanded flat you have is right here. That's an expanded flat. I've counted that I don't know how many times, and I've gone on record explaining how that's an expanded flat, what the count is. This is not 3 waves to the upside. No, no, no. That is 5 waves unequivocally. This is a flat without question, and I've counted that I don't know how many times, okay? You go into the small time frame, you've got a triangle here, but it's the B wave of an ABC. You've got A, you've got a triangle B, and then you've got a C wave, okay? So you've got an impulse, well, not an impulse, you've got a 3 wave right there, then you've got a 3 wave down, and then you got a 5 wave to the upside. Now, when you pull the fibs on that sucker, and I guess some of you are saying, well, show me your count. Daggone it, let me show you the count. But anyway, I say this to say, you know, guys, we can have a flat on a larger time frame, go up to the 3618, absolutely no problem. And for those of you that are sitting here with your antagonistic comments that say, oh, no, blah, 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 I'm sorry, you're just wrong, because the market does it. Whether it's in your textbooks or not, the market does it all the time. And you'll notice here, guys, we've got an A wave right here. We've got an A wave. Actually, if I pull it even more strict here, I'm going to call this a little flat as an A wave, or you've got a 3. You can call that 3 waves in here. Okay. Then you've got boom, and then you got a triangle right in here. Okay. Here's the triangle: A, B, C, D, and then there's E right there. Boom. So there's your triangle as the B wave, and so you've got an A wave, you got B wave, you got a C wave. So there's your B wave of your expanded flat. So here's A. There's B, there's C. It's gone past the 3618 extension, okay? So there's an example of a flat that's acting like an X wave, okay? Acting like an X wave of a 3-wave move. So we got a 3 wave there, we got a 3 wave X, and now we got another 3 wave to the downside. That's what happened. And so that's a W, X, and then this was Y, okay? So there it is. That's an expanded flat that goes to the 3618. So, you know, that's just one example among many. But let me show you another example that we just had one just recently. Okay. This is an This right here is an expanded flat. Without question. It's an expanded flat. Okay. You can't call this a 5-wave move right there because this breaks that low. Okay. So we're going to say boom, boom, boom. And that comes beyond, again, pulling the fibs on that expanded flat, comes beyond the 3618, beyond it, okay? Almost gets up to the 4618 extension, okay? So there is you're right about that. This is an expanded flat, again, acting as an X wave between probably a larger WXY. Looking at it like this. W, there's 3 waves, X, and then we got a Y wave there. Okay, so that's, again, you get this expanded flat between 2 larger 3-wave moves. And that's what I think we're doing, by the way. I just showed you 2 of them. That's what I think we're doing on the macro, okay? On the macro chart, on the weekly chart, whatever. Okay, let's get rid of this. I think we're making an expanded flat, okay? I don't like the shape of this. I wish it was more straight up. I was actually expecting this wave to pull back a little bit and continue kind of with a more straight up look. But we're not getting that, so I'm having to reconfigure what I'm seeing here. But on the table, I suppose, I'm not a big fan, but here you got 3 waves to the upside, you got 3 waves to the downside. Looking for this thing to get up here in 5 waves to finish this thing at around the 3618. or just between the 3618 and the 4618. And by the way, you know how they go past the 3618? And the liquidity is right there, right sitting at $48,000. Right there. Would not be surprised to see some kind of volatile, fast wave that gets us up here, wicks this area, and comes on down after that. Now, what would that be? Well, we've got 3 waves there. This would be some kind of an X wave. So I'm looking at that as W. There's some kind of an X wave there, and then we'd be looking for a Y wave down to finish our larger time frame bear market. And this would be the sell-off that is going to precipitate all the other or be along with all the other market sell-offs that we're seeing on the charts as well. When we see the S&P sell-off and the NASDAQ sell-off and the rest of the markets sell-off, okay? We're going to see a DXY sell-off here, and it's going to be pretty deep, and it's going to allow the rest of the markets to pump. Bitcoin to pump, S&P to pump. It's going to allow the NASDAQ to pump some more, and everybody's going to get a rally. It's going to be beautiful. And then all of a sudden it's going to stop while everybody's on cloud 9 saying we're going to make new highs and whatever. It's going to find resistance here, and we're going to get a dump, okay? We get a pullback, dead cat bounce, and then another dump. And that's going to be something like this. That takes months to play out, maybe even a year to play out, all of that, a year or more to play out. But that's what I see happening on the larger time frame, just like I showed you in 2 different occasions what happened on the smaller time frames with those expanded flats that get extended to the 3618. Now, it doesn't mean it has to do that. It doesn't mean it's definitely going to do that. It's simply an idea that I have that I've been purporting since November of 2022. I've been sharing this idea for a long time. And it may or may play out. We're moving in that right direction. The problem is we've had this 2-month correction. It gets everybody bearish again. In the middle of a big bullish wave, guys, you got this 2-month correction. It wears everybody down, makes everybody think and doubt that we're going to go any higher. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, what's going to happen? It does what Bitcoin always does. It start pumping again. When everybody believes, oh, we're going to go lower, we're going to go lower, here we go, we're going down, we're going to go down, we're going down to 5K, we're never going to go up again. And then all of a sudden, Bitcoin starts pumping again. Because that's what Bitcoin does. That's what markets do. They wear the retail trader down. You know, I see the viewership of my videos and of my lives is just less and less week after week. Why? It's not because I'm doing anything different and that I was doing something different in the bull market. It's just people get worn down in bear markets and they have a hard time following them. But this is where we do the work. This is where we make our money, guys. This is where we say, hey, we got to be contrarians. We got to look at the market differently. Yeah, the market's going down, and it's been going down for 2 months. But it's going down correctively, guys. As an Elliott wave trader, we see this correction. We're like, man, this is going down correctively. More than likely, we're going to break up and out of this area sooner than later. We're probably near the end of it. Though we could go down one more time, fine. But we're probably going to break up and out of this. And I see 2 possible fake outs. If they want to extend this correction for more months, I see a couple of wave structures that they could form and take us down some more that you need to watching for. We're going to go through that in just a moment. But what would this count be? You know, I go back and forth on it. It's a really challenging count. But one of the counts that I gravitate to is that this is a 1, 2 of a C wave. This is 3, and what we just got through with that 2-month correction is wave 4 of some kind, where now we're going to get an extended 5th wave, okay? An extended 5th. That's going to get us up to our target, and it's going to be a wave that takes shape something like this, maybe, okay? Where we get up and we go straight up over this is the weekly chart. So the next, 4, 5, 6 weeks are going to be bullish weeks. And they're going to be big green candles going up out of this. It's a possibility. I'm not here to predict the future. I'm simply saying that's a wave structure idea where you've got 1, 2, 3, the third wave. I'm not a big fan of how to count this, but it's possible to count this as 5 waves here. And then a pullback. It's really ugly. It really is. And then maybe a 5th wave like that. So that's still on the table, though. You know, I look at it, I'm like, man. But look at the weekly. We got the 200 weekly moving average. We broke down, but now we're breaking back up. It's finding some support, it would seem, in the last week. Okay? We closed underneath of it, but now are we going to break back up above the 200 moving average? It seems to me that we broke down through it. We broke back. We're retesting it, and it's come back through a little bit. Now it could, you know, that could be a fake out, right? Because we've seen breaks like that before, much like this one right here. You see that break right there, and then it came back, and over the next 4 or 5 weeks, it took 5 weeks to get some momentum. What we started moving back to the upside. Okay, so the 200-week moving average is pretty strong support here. We got to see if we can get back above it. Okay, so that's. So this moon count, it's not a moon count. It's just a count back to about $43,000 to $50,000 is my range that I'm looking for. Something I like the 3618 target. I've liked it for a long time, $43,000. So I don't know that the halving means nothing, Sean. When is the halving? What's the date of the halving? Let's see if we can correlate wave structure based on the halving. I don't pay attention to the halvings a whole lot, but that doesn't mean I'm right to, you know, not pay attention much. So let me know when the halving is coming, and I'll see if I can correlate that on the chart here. Let's look at this again as we're continually, as I'm taking a break here and just watching the chart here. Let's pay attention to where the liquidity is. Let's do a little liquidity analysis here, okay? Where are people, when we talk about liquidity, where are people stops? Okay, so generally we use structures, okay, people, U.S. traders use trend lines and structures to kind of, you know, point to liquidity. So let's talk about some trend lines that are going to be support and resistance and whatnot, and moving averages. So right now, the weekly moving average right here, we're playing on that. That's pretty decent. And then, but look at the daily moving average. We're finding some support here. We came down and tagged it and bounced off it. Now we're coming back to it. We haven't hit it. We don't have to hit it, but we could be possibly finding some support down here. And so, you know, there's probably some liquidity down here, okay, under this moving average. There's definitely liquidity underneath of this structure that if this starts going up, if we come back down and take this low out, there's probably going to be some liquidity there. We know there's going to be liquidity underneath of this structure, okay? You have a very, very strong liquidity zone right in here, okay? So there's lots of orders sitting down in these levels right down here of stop orders in particular. Anybody that's long, you know, there's gonna be a series of stop orders down in these areas. That means a long has to, in order to stop a long, you have to sell it, right? So the liquidity is, these are sell orders that are in here for anybody looking for longs in these regions, okay? So anybody seeing this pump and it's starting to go long, they're gonna start, placing their stops at these key levels here. There's gonna be different, but there's gonna be a lot of them underneath this structure right there, right in line with this, what we call our liquidity zone, right in here. Okay, so there's a lot of liquidity down here. If price wants to come down here, they take out a lot of stops. Okay, it'd be a long squeeze. Okay, taking out all these stops. That's an area of interest. Okay. Now, even more than that, just talking about longs, where the longs stop, where the stops, well, there's a lot of people who have a lot more patience, and their stops are under here at these zones. They're using this structure up here, this area right here, the top of this wave, as support, okay? So they're going to put their stops underneath of here and below these areas here incrementally for anybody in longs from this area expecting price to go up and to go up hard, okay? When was the last? Well, that's perfect, Sean. Because don't we? When was the last halving, guys? What was the last date of the last halving? Somebody remind me, please. And I'll talk to you. I know it's like every 4 years, right? So when was the last halving? Anyway, that's where liquidity is. So on the downside, there's lots of liquidity here, but price has been moving up, right? So there's all kinds of short people looking at price action wanting to short this because they're looking for Bitcoin to go down lower. They're looking for lower targets. So there's all kinds of people shorting Bitcoin right now. So where are people who are short? Where are their stops? Well, it depends on where they got in short, right? If somebody got short in this area, well, they probably are. Their stop has already probably been hit because they probably had their stop there. But anybody that got short here, their stop's probably already been hit. All that liquidity's been taken, right? But now anybody short from up here in these regions, their stop's going to be above here. But look at this liquidity, right? Because anybody that's short from up here in these regions and they're still holding Bitcoin looking for lower targets, well, they're going to use liquidity regions so they're going to use the top of this wave right here. So there's going to be a lot of money right in this area, right here about 50K. There's going to be a lot of money sitting right there. If price, in two ways, if price gets up here, okay, price gets up to here, there are going to be a lot of breakout traders going long here, okay, and there's going to be a bunch of breakout traders going long here in this region, which is the worst thing you could possibly do, okay? So I'll get to the halving in just a moment, guys. But anyway, they're going to be breakout longs and short stops, which are long orders, okay? In other words, we want people going long at exactly the wrong place. Why do we need people going long? Because the market makers need people buying so they can sell into the buys. So there's liquidity up here as well in these price regions here. It makes sense for price to come up here, tag these zones here, and reject off of it. Get these buy orders so they can sell into all this money that's up here, and they can take price back down, okay? Now, as people are shorting this market, they can take it back up and then take it back down, right? And they can do their thing systematically, keeping everybody guessing. But from an Elliott wave standpoint, we know what it is. It's simply just a big double correction that Bitcoin always does, with a bottom somewhere going to be around $5,000, $4,000, maybe even as low as $1,400 Bitcoin at the end of a sell-off where the whole world is bearish because there's lots of crap going on in this world. There's war, there's maybe famine, there's a lot of stuff going on. Guys, I'm not excited for this time period of here. I'm not excited for it at all because I think there's going to be calamity. I think there's going to be all kinds of pain and suffering going on in the world, and we can just see it in the chart right now. Okay, we can just see it beginning to happen. Okay, so anyway, that's a liquidity analysis of Bitcoin, where all this money is going to get taken out, but more than likely they're going to come up and take this money first before they come down and get this money. So guys, these lower targets, they're probably going to get taken out. They probably will. But there's a lot of money probably sitting up here in breakouts and in FOMOers, as well as short stops. Okay, So there's a lot of people willing to buy at these levels at 50 and 55K, 48. Lots of people willing to buy up here. So they need willing buyers at high prices. Why? So they can sell and make their money. Okay? So guys, that's how liquidity works. That's how market makers do the charts. So pumps and dumps. Pumps and dumps. All right, so there you go. There's a liquidity analysis for you. I hope that was helpful to you. We've done an RSI analysis. We've done a liquidity analysis. What's left? Well, let's do a wave structure analysis on the larger time frame. My main idea of what's happening right now is a large WXY. So that's pretty, and we're in the X wave, and I believe it's an expanded flat. And I'm looking for a pump somewhere to 43 to 50K. Been calling for that range for quite a while. Okay. And there may be other scenarios that get us up to 60K or even retesting the top. But I see this as a potential move back to the upside. And I'm looking for another dump that's going to take us into 2024. Okay. Now, let's look at the halving and how that plays a part in all these things. So we had the last halving was May 8th, 2020, the last halving. So what happened? And Chemo, can you get me the date of the halving previous to that, please? If you can give me all the halvings, I'll put them on the screen for us. So this is May the 8th, right there, right here. Boom. Okay. Where was the halving? Yeah, exactly, Alex. Great, exactly. We haven't even gotten a retrace of that big move to the 50, have we? So yeah, and that's the way price normally goes. Price will normally retrace. Shoot, to at least the 3618, right? Right. We haven't even gotten to the 382. Yeah, excellent point. The 50 is at 40. The 50 right here that is correlated with my 3618 extension of this larger flat move. So there's a possibility. Okay, thanks Camel Teabag for getting me the halving dates. So we got May 11th, 2020. We've got July 9th, 2016. Let's just put them all on the chart here. Where's July? Somewhere around there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's good. That'll do us good. So let's get this on. How do I say it? Log scale. Ugh. Okay. So on this halving right here, we actually had a dump after the halving. So we had a pump into the halving. We had a dump after it for several months, and then we started moving up. So that's there. We had a pump prior to the halving. Okay, again, we had not a big dump after the halving of 2020. Okay, and we just pumped after it. Okay, so the next halving is projected to be somewhere around April. April 26th, someone said. April 14th. So let's just put the other halving here somewhere around April. Let's just do the middle of April, somewhere around here. Boom. Okay. So what could happen? Well, I mean, we could totally, if from an Elliott perspective, if they want to, they could pump it. They could pump up the jams over the next couple months here. Shoot, we could retest the highs if they wanted to. If they wanted to pump this and pump this hard up to this area here prior to, we could get a five wave dump that comes down very strong and heavy, very fast, and takes us to the halving or whatever, something like that, right? And then following the halving, boom, we start going. That's when we go. That's when Bitcoin starts pumping. So yeah, there's no problem with this wave structure. No problem, Sean, with the halving date coming in April. No problem at all. But generally we get a dump, and then could get a pump right into it. So I don't see a problem with that at all. Shoot, we could pump into the halving. This may take a lot longer than I've drawn out. We could dump after the halving, and I've got some Elliott wave structures that take us up differently. Okay, so if this X wave wants to get more complex, we could be doing something like this. We've got boom, right there's your A wave. Okay, that could be an A wave or a W wave of the X wave. We could now be in the beginning stages, guys, the beginning stages of some kind of that we could get a wave like that, some kind of move like this, and then we go back up, boom, right into the halving. We pump into the halving, dump afterwards, and then we go again. So I mean that's a complex way to look at structure, this wave structure, where we get a more complex B wave out of this larger thing, and then we get a big dump sometime in 2024. Right, so I don't see any problem here. I don't see any problem with the halving dates and what price might be doing. But I'll tell you this: if you go back and look at the history of the halvings, there's no real clear history. Into the halving of what price necessarily does. You've got price on this last halving. We dumped and pumped into it, okay, and then we pumped out of it, right? So, but here we pumped into it. We had a pullback and then continued pumping. So I don't really think there's enough history to say, hey, what is definitely happening here with the halving, but I'm still looking for bigger prices here. I'm still looking for a movement to the upside here, following this larger structure. I'm looking for lower targets, and I'm looking for this to continue to the upside. Okay, that's the way I'm looking at the chart. Okay, that's the way I'm looking at it. Now, is this the only way? I imagine it's possible that we have finished some kind of a three-wave move. There's a crap count in here that we have to have, and this could be the beginning stages of a much larger move to the upside. Do we have to do what I said and come back down for 3 more waves? No, we don't have to do that. We could I imagine we could start pumping out of here, right? We could start going. We could keep rocking. I mean, who's to say I'm right with this next move to the downside? But I kind of feel like it's pretty possible. It's pretty possible. It just all depends on current events, right? It all depends on what's happening in the world, okay? So, in other words, what is the plan of the powers that be for Bitcoin and crypto, okay? How does that fit with the oncoming reality of central bank digital currencies, okay? Because the central banks do not want to lose their power, guys. Central banks want to maintain power, maintain control, and so they're not going to lose their power easily. You got to know that they're pushing for CBDCs. They're not looking to have you to be able to do transactions free of them. They want to be in complete control of it. So here's what they do, and here's what they've done historically. They bring on catastrophes and problems in this world. They bring it on. War is usually part of it, okay? And calamity comes, a problem. Let the world react to it. Let there to be problems in the world, and we, the people, begin screaming to government, looking for answers. And the government, the next problem that comes could be major war. It could be, I don't know, it could be major supply chain. It could be the banks collapsing, the currencies collapsing, the fiat system all over the world collapsing. And there's and then all of a sudden we cry for the government, the people in general cry to the government for help, and the government says, we have a solution for you. We've created this digital currency here. It's fantastic. Here it is. You have your own digital currency. Go buy and take care of your family. We'll here's the solution. And the world says, yes, crypto is the answer, but it's not the crypto like we want. It's not Bitcoin and this decentralized currencies. No. They're going to find a way to take power, and they probably already have done it under our noses, taken power of this crypto market. And it's just more about control. Now that we're on a digital system, everything that you buy and sell, even something you swap, maybe you sell maybe a TV. Well, in the digital world, the government's going to have knowledge about your sale of your personal assets, and they're going to be able to tax you on it. Right now you can go sell your lawnmower on Facebook Marketplace, and you can sell your kayak or your tent or whatever you want to sell on Facebook Marketplace, and you can have a transaction with cash, and the government doesn't know a thing. They can't tax you on it, and you can do it. But once the digital age comes, they've got power over you, and they've got control over everything. And that means they completely can control you. They can turn your account on and off. If you are someone that isn't toeing the line and doing what you're supposed to do, they can take your money at will if they want to, or they just have so much power. And don't you think that's the plan of these central bankers? No, they want complete power, complete control over you. I don't know why there's so many evil people in this world hungry for power over me, but they are, and they're evil and they're wicked, and we just got to live with it. We live within that world, and we try to make our way through the world that they're trying to take over, and we do the best we can. So anyway, these changes are coming. These things are coming, and so the market is going to pump and it's going to dump in the process, because they're in the process of taking all of your money. Okay, they're gonna get you to buy Bitcoin at the wrong time, and you're gonna sell it at the wrong time, and that's why you need to join my Discord, just so you kind of keep even keel as we watch these waves, as we watch these structures play out. We're not surprised at these movements on the chart. We're not surprised by it. It doesn't mean we get them perfect all the time or we know full exact, but we're not surprised, and we anticipate these things and we prepare ourselves, and we definitely know key times to be buying and key times to be selling. I was yelling and screaming at my Discord around Christmas that we're getting ready to go up, and once we started pumping down in here, I mean, I was bullish as crap. I was yelling. I've been bullish for a long time, and I have not lost my bullishness. I've been bullish since November of last year, as this structure was being formed right here. I was like, oh man, this is what we're looking for, and I got really, really bullish in here. We were looking for buys in this zone here, and anybody in my Discord that's been around a while knows I've been looking for buys in that area, and I'm still looking for buys. But the market, has a way of screwing you up and making you feel bad about buying. This dip right here to 2000, back to 19,000. That was a tough move. The way that thing moved, that was a tough move. It was hard to be buying that thing, but look what happened. Okay, now look, we've had 2 months of bearishness, and people are like, oh, this thing's going to just keep going down. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. It's never going to stop. Well, I mean, I imagine that's a possibility, but we know what to watch for, guys. We know exactly the wave structures to look for and the signs on the chart to say, hey, we're done with this downward momentum. We're looking for upward momentum. We know what the signs are, and I've already been over some of the signs with you. And that's what our Discord is for. We're a community of people. We're looking at the charts together. We're presenting our ideas together. We're tracking this wave the best we can. This is the time to be in the Discord. A lot of people leave Discords and leave watching the YouTube videos during the bear markets. But this is the time where you really need to be protecting your assets, because we're probably on the precipice of a pretty big pump coming, and I've been warning you guys about it for quite a while. I know it's hard when the market's been going down for 2 months. It's hard to believe Jim. It's hard, and it's easy to joke on Jim. But when the market's up here at 40 and 50K, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I mean, guys, I told you it was coming. I mean, I didn't know exactly how it's coming, but I said it was coming. These targets are coming. more than likely. Now, am I a prophet? Do I know, what things? No, I'm not a prophet. I just read wave structure and I understand liquidity in the market and these evil people that run the show. Now, what could happen here? So let's prepare for me to be wrong, okay? And my belief system that we could go up here. Let's talk about what could happen here if it doesn't start shooting to the upside. Now, I've told you what to look for, okay, on the smaller time frame and as well as the daily. I've told you what to look for. But let's talk about what to look for if it's going to be going down. What kinds of things do you want to be seeing to prepare for it to go down? Let me see some of your comments here, guys. All right, Chemo, my right-hand man, my favorite friend here. Where's Seth? He's not here tonight either, but two awesome dudes in my Discord. My anticipation is major changes coming in 2025. We'll see the problems later this year and through 2024. Yep, I agree. So everyone is selling all the assets to survive, and at the bottom of markets, you will see CBDC for your safety and security. Safe and effective. Chris Huffman says, takes a long time for most... man, I can't see everything because... I've been in the market since 2017, and it's just now starting to make sense. I've been down and up, and finally getting it right. It ain't no get-rich-quick scheme. No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's a tough market to trade. There's no doubt about it. These up and down movements, there's a lot of... This wave right here has been so trashy. So trashy. But, we talked about this. We said, hey, guys, this could be a flat with more downside to come. We were looking at it, though. We were prepared for the up move, and we knew what to look for because I said, hey, this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and it could go up from here, right? And that's and once we got the dump and a break of this low, we said, hey, we don't have that anymore, okay? So, yeah, it was, and then once this thing moved up here, we were looking for something like that. And I can show you charts in the Discord where we were looking for a pump back up to here. Now, again, you never know exactly how it's going to make, but hey, we've got... Now, let's talk about what can happen in here and how to prepare for up or down, okay? So, we've talked about the possibility here of upward movement, okay? So, what you want to pay attention to is the momentum trend here on the RSI. You want to see it, wait for a break, not necessarily wait for a break, but when you see a break and a close and the momentum remaining above this area here, above 50 here, okay? And above that trend, it's letting you know this downward trend is done. We're in a temporary or a longer term upward trend, okay? And so it could be temporary for 3 waves and then back down, okay? But nevertheless, this particular downward move is done once we break this trend, and we're going to probably get a pullback of some kind and then maybe a continuation, which could go up and big, or it could break back down to the downside in 3 other waves, okay? So that's kind of where we are. We're in this little stage right here where we're probably, I'm hoping we're going to break up and out of here, okay? But I'll talk about another thing, another wave structure to pay attention to that could happen here. It could fake you out a little bit. We'll talk about that, okay? Johnny Utah says, get to the chopper. In his best Arnold voice. He does a great Arnold voice, by the way. If you just got to come into the Discord just for Johnny's Arnold impression. It's better than mine, no doubt about it. Impressions are funny because they suck, and you're laughing because you're laughing at me, not my impressions. All right. So anyway, with that said, let's look at this wave right here and say, okay, what could this be? Well, we've talked about the reversal. Okay, we spent enough time on the reversal. We could go straight up in a wave. Again, I've said this several times, similar to that move right there. We could be starting a wave that does something like this. Okay, gets us up to this upper target here, this upper target zone, and then back down, Okay, we could get something like that, which is exactly what happened here. Up, took out the liquidity and back down. All right, played around in the liquidity zone, came down, took out the liquidity below it. Okay, where's the next liquidity to the low? Well, we got a trend right here. So there's liquidity below that trend line, okay, and below here. I say $4,000, a stop hunt down to 4,000 would be apropos, and then a rejection down the way. Okay, all right. What are some smaller time frame ideas here? Let me talk about two of them. I talked about them today in the video I made this earlier, but let's talk about what they could be. Okay. All right. So I get the sense that this is going to continue pumping. Okay. On the 1 hour chart, you'll see that we came down and we almost tagged the 30 on the RSI. It's given us some hidden bullish divergence off the bottom of this wave there. Boom. And boom, we've got hidden bull. Okay, where the RSI took the low out, but price didn't even come near it at all. So you got a major move to the downside, hidden bullish divergence. So I kind of see this pumping. This looks like a nice three-wave move here. This could pump here. Now, there's also something very complex that could happen. This could come up, take the high, take the low, and then pump. And that would be still a three-wave move and then a pump. So, something could get even more complex here. So I see that as a possibility as well. I've seen that before plenty of times. But nevertheless, this looks like a nice three-wave move that could be about finished. Could be, possibly. All right. The 30-minute chart, we've got hidden bull. We got hidden bull on the 1 hour chart. We got hidden bullish divergence. Now, it doesn't mean that hidden bull means it's definitely going to go up. It just means that there's bullish divergence that if price is going to go down, they've got some work to do to take out that bullish divergence. They've got some work to do. But what could the wave structure be telling us? What could the wave structure be? Okay, well, we could have a flat working. Let me show you the flat that we could have here. Okay, there's two flats I see potential depending on how high this wave comes. If this wave wants to come up one more time, fine. That would give us maybe a 5-wave move. Boom, 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 boom. 5. Okay? And that could be a flat right here. A, 3 waves right there. B, 3 waves right there. And then this 5-wave C wave. That could be an expanded flat, which would be the X wave of a W. Boom. X, that's the flat. And then we'd be looking for a Y. Or an A, B. If this thing comes higher, we could have a B wave, and we could get a 5-wave C to the downside. So any kind of 3-wave move here in the Elliott world is possible. What would that be if something like that plays, if something like that happens? Well, it'd be this. So maybe we get a pump here. So maybe we get some kind of a flat. Boom. That's part of a W, X, and a Y. So that means we've got a larger X wave here. So that means this first one is a larger W, a larger X, and this entire structure here is your Y wave. And that lets you finish a larger bull flag, a WXY 3-wave move. Potentially, that is a potential count coming. Okay? It all depends on what this wave does. Does this wave come up and get out of here, okay, and start going up high? Or does it just come up, finish, and find some rejection here coming down to the next? So that's really what we're watching for. This wave, this current wave that we're in. Looks like it's going to come up and bounce and then pump for another wave. That's the way it looks for now. I believe that, but it doesn't have to. If it wants to come down from here, it can. It can. But if it comes down from here and not taking the high, it's going to look very 3-wave-ish instead of 5 waves. In which case, I would say, all right, we've got 3 waves here. This could be an X wave, and then we could get another 3 waves, which again just takes us lower but it gives us a W, X, and a Y as well. Again, that any number of things. Or this could be a lot more bearish than I'm expecting. If this starts coming straight down and gives us a big deep wave, I would expect one more hit and then boom, something like that. Then all of a sudden, you've got, this has turned into some kind of weird, funky impulse wave. Okay, an impulse wave that looks trashy as you know what. I'm not a big fan of that, but certainly the market can do whatever it wants to do. Now, if that happens right there, I would probably see this as some kind of a 5-wave move. Okay, could be some kind of diag where you got A, B, C, D, E, something like that, with a really big. It didn't have to come this deep. It could come, something like this, right? Without this last little piece to it. And then you got, some kind of a 3-wave move there. It's ugly as crap, but, it is what it is. So you could have some kind of 5-wave move there. Or a WXYXZ. I don't like that much, but, WXYXZ. Or, again, it could be just a larger WXY. It just could be a larger correction. So if that something happens like that, again, it could be part of an X wave where you have, this is your W wave, and this could be some kind of X wave, and then we go up for 3 more. And that's how we get up here. And this takes a lot longer time to go up, and we get some kind of Y wave back to the upside. Going on the daily, it would look something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Take out this liquidity up here, and then back down for 3. So yeah, that could get complex here. Okay, so it all depends on what's happening right now, right? So we have lots of ideas, but we have to see what's going to happen right here. Okay, and right now we have to pay attention to the possibility of a breakout to the upside. You've got to at least consider it. A wave, something like this, to get up and out of here is possible, but we need to see it start impulsing up and out of here. But if it doesn't, then what we're going to do is we're going to watch for this to be a flat right here, 3, 3, 3, and we're going to look for 3 more, okay? Or we're going to see if this just starts to impulse down, break out of this level, and come down fast. Then that's another wave shape that could play. Now let me talk about one more wave shape that could play, because this is a really tricky one. Or if this starts to impulse and come up here, okay, and starts getting higher on this wave, then we could look at this as 3, 3, 5 like this, where that's a bigger flat, okay? It looks like we're going bullish, looks like it's getting big, but it finds a 5-wave shape right in here, and then we get a rejection to the downside where we got 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and depending on how high we come, we could get a 5-wave dump really fast here. And again, what would that be? Well, that would be, again, that would be some kind of an X wave for a WXY. Like this flat right here is a W, there could be an X, and we could get a Y wave. Okay, and we would expect this to make its way back to the upside. Now, this X wave could become deeper and more complex and take a lot more time. I mean, there's a possibility where this could take another year, okay, where this is some kind of a deeper correction. We could have a trash wave here where this is finished, and this could be the first wave. This could be a real deep second wave that takes the next 2 years to play. A bear market, just up, down, up, down. We don't ever hit this liquidity until we go, okay, and we go to the moon. That's an outlier count that's still also possible as well. Okay? Uh-oh. Looks like we're okay still streaming. Sorry, I got some of my family messaging me. Sorry about that. So yeah, So what we have to understand here is that, there's all kinds of wave shapes that can happen here. Now, my first idea, and the one I'm digging into the most right now, is I'm looking to see if this is going to start pumping up and out of here. If it does not do that, okay, and it starts acting a little bit slower, then I'm going to pay attention to the wave structure and say, okay, is this pointing to something that's going to take a lot more time in the market? And that could just be an A wave of an X where we get something that takes a lot more time. This could be just the beginning of sorrows here, where it looks like we're just going to dump, retesting this low, where this could be like a one wave. This could be the end of something that was just really, really trashy. It's just the most trashy wave you've ever seen, right? Could be. And then all of a sudden this is a 1-2 out of it, and boom. I'm not going to like that at all. I mean, if that happens from a wave standpoint, from a structure standpoint, I'm not going to like the way that looks at all. I'm going to consider this more likely 3, 3, 3, and then more dumpage coming later. I don't know how long things are going to take, but they could keep price in this range. If they wanted to, they could keep price in this range for a year or more. Okay, so I don't want that to happen, but it could. So right now I'm bullish until I can't be, and that's my stance, and that's the way I've been for quite a while. Okay. Top G analysis. I like the preaching. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Out of all of them, I mean, the first count that I'm looking for invalidation of is this move here. So the way I approach things is I'm kind of the way Bitcoin generally moves is we get a lot of X waves that are expanded flats that go up higher and faster than anybody expects. Okay, so I'm looking for a wave like this first. Okay, that's my first count. That's what I believe, and then we're looking for something deeper like that, right? And it's the ultimate crap coin. It's the ultimate. This is the way Bitcoin market has moved for years, right? I mean, this is the way the market looks. You get these straight up, and then you get this retrace all the way back down, straight up, all the way back down, straight up. We haven't reached all the way back down, but a lot of times you get these intermediate pumps in the middle, right? Before it goes down. So I think we're going to get an intermediate pump. I think we're in the middle of it. So that's my primary idea. I like that one. So the way I like to handle it is all the counts, which count gets invalidated first. Okay. Which count. So on the weekly chart, I'm really paying attention to my downward trend here. Okay. My downward trend, you'll notice that the weekly trend right here is beginning to break. Now, it doesn't mean it's broken. I need to see a weekly close. I need to see a weekly close beyond this. So actually this green candle right here that we had last week, it's a green candle and it's starting to break out, but it's not substantial yet. It hasn't. So this week, I want to see this be a green week. And I want to see a close of price back to the upside. You'll notice that we came right down to the 50. On the weekly RSI. We've come right to the 50 on the weekly RSI. I'd love to see a bounce. You see right here where we had a bounce off the 50? Okay. Remember the wave I was telling you about comparing it to? I'm comparing this to this wave right off the 50. All right. So I want to see it. I'd love to see a move back to the upside. Nice and tall. Nice and fast on the weekly. Just 3 or 4 weeks straight up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's finish this thing somewhere midsummer towards August, and let's have a fourth quarter dump. Okay, and begin dumping into the fourth quarter, rally in January up into March or something, and then sell off again to whatever. It could take a lot longer, right? The entire 2024 might be a sell off. Who knows? So that's my favorite idea. But I want to see that get invalidated. I want to see that. I want to see the wave structure start to say, you know what, I'm probably not doing that. And we're really close to that right now. If this week we don't get a pump, or next, I mean, now if price stays in this range for a week, small time frame, and hardly moves out of here, I'll give it another week. But if we start getting more downside, I'm not going to like, if we get a lower low here, I'm not going to like the upward movement. It doesn't mean it can't do it. It's just I'm not going to like it. It's not going to be, you know, but it totally could in the next week. You know, we could come down, dump, and wick, and come back up. Okay, so we're coming to the place though. I'm just not going to like it unless it just goes. So I did share a couple accounts with you that take us up as a little flat. We hit the low and then we bounce. Okay, so I'm still looking. My RSI settings, here, I'll show you there's my RSI setting right there. Hope that helps you. I use 10. Okay, so yeah, that would be my first, I would think. Then if it doesn't do that, then I'm personally looking for, okay, you know, if it doesn't go up out of here, I want to see it pump here first. That would be awesome. But if it doesn't, or if it does, if it starts coming up and then rejects here, then I'm looking for those flats that I was telling you about. Either whether this is a flat and then we come down for 3, I'll be watching for another rejection here. Or this comes up higher and we got a larger flat and then we come down for 3, okay? I'll be watching for those counts, and that's going to take us into, you know, the next several months, right? The next month of price action. I'll be watching for this count to play out, right? But we know ultimately, you know, this could impulse here and then take 3 weeks and just 3-wave us, retesting this low. Looking bearish, looking like it's going to go down again and then break up and out of here. Okay, so we know that could totally play as well. We could break up. So this could take another you know, couple of weeks here, guys. I mean, into July. You know, even if it pumps a little bit and then starts to just correct, it could take several weeks for that to play, for this wave right here just to play out. And just keep us on the, and just make everybody feel bearish, so bearish, retesting this low, and then all of a sudden it breaks up to the outside. We're like, oh, it's a fake out. You know, everybody's going to be, you know, not believing it's going to go up. Then before you know it, you know, we're up and out of here. We're up and gone. So realize that this is a real potential here. So, you know, we understand these things. We understand how waves move. So, but right now, this is an initial wave. It looks like a 1, 2. I would love to see a bigger 3, 4, and a 5. I would love to see something like that. I would, if we get a 5 clear waves, I would look for at least 3 down, right? Or I would look for maybe even a 5 wave down, tagging the lows, and then rock into the upside. Again, so many things can happen here, guys, and this is what we do. We track it in our Discord. Two videos every day. You know, I know they're beating us to death. I know you guys are tired, but you know that's why we trade the smaller time frames. We take our profit and look for the next trade. We trade all these waves in here, you know, up and down, up and down. If you're constantly looking for the big move, you'll never get it, and then finally you get worn down, and then that big move comes out of nowhere when you least expect it. So yeah, is this big move definitely going to play? No, it's not definitely going to play. In fact, I'm watching to see what happens here. Are we going to get a pump, and then does it reject after that? I'm going to be looking to take profit on my long, on maybe another hit to the high, or I'm going to see what that wave does. Does it reject, you know, and come back down? Then I'm going to protect my profit, right? So anyway, that's looking at that. All right, we've spent an hour and a half just on Bitcoin talking about these things. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at Ethereum. Okay, real fast. We don't have a lot of time. we're just going to look at the rest of the charts, okay? And we're just going to see if they're rhyming, okay? See if they're kind of telling a story. Are they all telling the same story? Okay, so let's take a peek at Ethereum here. Ethereum, same kind of thing here. This is looking like a three-wave. This is looking awful three-wave-ish. I like it. I mean, I do. I like this as a three-wave move to the downside. I'd really love for this to be breaking up and out of here. Very, very similar in price action to this bottom right there. I really like this. There's a real chance we start breaking up and out of here. Okay, so watch out for that move here. This could really play. And this could be part of what I've been seeing as a potential ending diag. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go up for something like that, right? And that's an ABC. Boom. Oh, come on. A. There's B. It's ugly as sin, and C. It's some kind of an ending diag, right? But the third wave can't be the smallest. Right? So another way I've counted it is that 1, 2, and then we've got 3 here. Boom. And instead of a diag, oh, did I like that? No, I don't like that. Never mind. I take it back. Let's see. How else did I count it? Maybe 1, 2. Let's put 3 here. And then 4, and then we just need one more hit to the high, one more pump, and that's 3 for 5. Nah. Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but we need 3 waves here. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that. 1, 2. I don't know. That's a tough little wave structure, but it could be forming some kind of diag. So really, this could play to the upside. Let's watch and see if we get a pump much like this. So I mean, again, that's where we are. That's where you'll notice that on the 8-hour chart, we've broken up and out of this trend. Okay, we've broken this downward trend right there. We've broken up and out. Okay, that's clear. Okay, the daily chart has mega strong hidden bullish divergence. On the daily, we've hit the 200 moving average on Ethereum. We've got hidden bull divergence here. We've broken out. The momentum has broken to the upside and closed beyond the moving average and this trend here. So, I mean, that's looking really, really good to the upside. ETH looks more bullish, or it's more definitively bullish than Bitcoin is looking for now. Okay, so let's watch and see if we're going to get a bullish move out of this, or is this going to break back down and do some kind of another hit to the low. But that's going to break through the 200 moving average on that. So I don't know on the daily. But this is beautiful retest of the moving average. I love it. So we got a breakout, retest, breakout, retest. I mean a continuation, retest. Let's see if we get another bounce in this. The 200 moving average is moving to the upside on the daily chart. It's looking really good. So yeah, not too bad there. Not too bad at all. Let's see here. XRP. Yeah, XRP. Oh, that's interesting. It's been pumping pretty good. That's the 15-minute though. Let's see here. What do we got here? Yeah, I was looking at this as 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. That's done. Now is the question here is this a 3-wave move to the downside? Boom, boom, boom. It's ugly. It is ugly, ugly, ugly. Okay. That could be 3 waves. That could be 5 waves right there with a triangle right there as the 4th wave. You got a 1, 2 up here. We got 3, triangle 4, 5. And now that's just 5 waves. That could be 5. So how would we count that in that scenario? Well, I would count this as a flat right here. We got 3 waves down. We could see this as 3 waves up and a 5-wave move down. In which case, this would be the beginning wave of an impulse to the upside. So that could be some kind of a 3-wave pullback. Okay, could be some kind of an ugly 3-wave. and this is beginning the next impulse to the upside. You'll notice if I go to the daily chart, okay, looking at that pullback, there is hidden bullish divergence on that chart right there. This low right there, boom, to the upside, and we broke it on the daily. Now we're kind of, now we have like an expanded wedge here. So I want to see if we're going to break up and out of this trend or not, if this is going to continue breaking, going to the upside here, or is it going to three-wave and come back down? Okay, is this going to end up three-waving us to death or something like that? And that means Bitcoin's going to do something a little bit more complex and down as well. But still, we've got a look on the chart that says, hey, we could be breaking to the upside. Okay, so not horrible there, but XRP, not the greatest chart in the world. But so we got to pay attention. How does this develop? Does this on the daily, that's the 12-hour, but does this break back down and below this current trend right here? In fact, let's draw this trend right there, and let's see if we break this to the downside. Do we break this more short-term one, and do we break this one? Or does it just kind of pull back a little bit and then continue and then end up breaking this? Could. All right. So that means that this could pull back, retest the low, and then go. And that would allow for a Bitcoin, we go up, maybe retest the low, okay, and a two-wave, and then continue to the upside. So. There's about, again, the charts are talking the same language. We could be trending to the upside. But we've not broken any structure here. Let's see on the daily on our XRP has a beautiful trend on the daily. So let's watch and see. We're retesting the daily trend. Let's see if we break the daily to the upside. That's going to be gorgeous for a bullish move. If this breaks to the upside, that's going to be very bullish. We've come down. We've retested the 50. We've gone below the 50. We've retested. We are ready for another pump to the upside. If this wants to pump, it totally can. Can it break back down? Absolutely. But even if it breaks back down, that could be setting us up for a three-wave retest of this and then a continuation to the upside. So, nevertheless, could be a little bit more bearish for a little longer. Bitcoin could do that as well, but then we could pump up out of here, maintain this trend right there. Okay, so let's watch. Could we go up from here? Yes. Could we go up and then break back down? Yes. And could we break that trend line? Could we break this trend line? Yes, we could. We'll watch that when it's time. But right now, we're in an upward trend. Let's watch and see if we're going to get some momentum or if it's going to slow down and break back down to the downside. So that's what we're watching there for XRP. Let's look at ADA as well. ADA, what are you doing? What are you doing? So ADA kind of looks like a three-wave. Looks like we're going to get one more wave and then down again. So, if we listen to ADA on the 4-hour chart, it's telling us we're probably going to retest the low before we go, okay? Which means we go up, fake out to the upside like I was sharing with you guys on Bitcoin could make that flat move that we were talking about, okay? So that would correlate with some kind of a pump to the upside, making maybe this flat that we were talking about, and then back down to the downside. That's what ADA is kind of pointing to. Another move to the upside in the 4-hour, and then back down to make a three-wave move like that, and then maybe up and out of here. Because this is a beautiful three-wave shape here, okay? And then we may get some kind of a pump out of here to retest this three-wave move. Boom, boom, boom. And then back down. As Bitcoin pumps and ADA pumps, we go back down. Once Bitcoin reaches 40 to 50K, we have a move back down after that. Maybe that's too much. Maybe it pumps a lot further than that there. But this is the 4-hour chart. So, yeah. All right, so that's a real possibility here that this could pump up and then back down. So watch out for a pump, a fake out, and a back down. I like ADA as a 3-3-5 or a 3-3-3. Retest the low and give us a nice good 1-2. Let's get a third wave out of here, pumping up the jams. Okay? All right. What else can we look at? Let's look at natural. Let's look at DXY next. I'm expecting, guys. So the DXY, I'm expecting a dump here. Okay, I'm looking here. If you look at this wave and this wave, okay, you see commonalities here. You got a 1, 2. Okay, you got a 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, you got a 1, 2. You got a 3, a 4, and a 5. And that fifth wave always begins with an initial wave and a big pullback before it dumps. Okay, you got an initial wave and a pullback and dump. Okay, now look here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look. Now what? We got an initial wave and a pullback looking for the dump. Okay, that's kind of the way all these waves have played out, kind of looking for the same thing happening. So we're in the middle of this starting to dump. Okay, on the 3-day chart, it's looking very bearish here, especially on the 3-day. If we break back down below this trend line, that's going to indicate, hey, that is a very, very good bearish signal that this has more down to go. Okay, the daily chart, okay, is already broken. Okay, has it broken? Yes, the daily chart has already broken, or is, if I draw it a little bit more, it's playing on the trend line. It's ready to break to the downside. There could be some pullback here, but let's go. Let's look at DXY news for the week on forexfactory.com. Let me open up a new thing here. Let me go to forexfactory.com. There it is, calendar. Boom. The news for the week. We don't have anything Monday or Tuesday, but Wednesday we've got Chair Powell is testifying. Where is he testifying? Let's check it out here. Semi-annual monetary policy report before the House Financial Services Committee. So he's going to be talking with them on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Thursday, what do we got going on? We got FOMC Waller is speaking at 4 a.m. Where he's going to be speaking in Ireland. There you go. Central Banking and Ireland Conference, Dublin, Ireland. There you go. How was my? How did I say Dublin? Did I say it well? Did I say it like you Irish folks? All right. What do we got going on? We've got unemployment claims at 8:30, and another. So we've got a lot of Fed guys speaking out there, and when they speak, the market listens. So we got speeches, market can go up. We got a lot of Euro news here and GBP news. So the GBP and the Chief news and the Euro news, they're all going to move the DXY. They're all going to move the DXY up or down. So we got major DXY news this week. Even if we don't have a lot of USD news, we do have also the Fed chairs and Fed speakers. Okay, and then finally on Friday, we've got flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. So those things have an effect on the market as well. So we do have a pretty red week here, important week for the DXY in particular. So that's going to affect markets as well. I imagine we're going to start to see early in the week. Well, Wednesday, we might see some pullback on the DXY, some positive news that brings DXY back up, but probably Thursday, Friday, negative news for the DXY, positive for Chief, GBP, and Euro, more than likely. So we see dumping happening more than likely on DXY. That's at least a potential way of looking at news and how the charts may go. Expecting over the next several weeks, that doesn't mean we can't have green weeks. Okay, so this might be a green DXY week, in which case BTC would probably be red, right? So it doesn't mean markets can't go down, but over the next several weeks, the general trend of the DXY should be down, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm bearish on the DXY for now, and I'm looking for a pretty major dump down to 94 or ranges around there. I'm looking for a pretty bearish dump. I'm also very bullish on the markets, S&P, NASDAQ. I'm very bullish, okay? I'm expecting more highs. That doesn't mean we can't have red weeks. Doesn't mean we can't have red days. But the general trend is going to be to the upside here, probably retesting these highs in an ABC fashion, Okay. Once this finishes over the next several weeks into July and August, I'm looking for it to get to about 4,600. Okay. Retesting that zone right there. Let me pull the fibs and I'll show you what I'm seeing there. A, B, C, boom. The 48, even a retest of the all-time high. 46 is the 1414. So right around 46 is the target to 48 is the zone I'd be watching for and looking for rejection back down. And so I'm seeing a pump in the Bitcoin market up to 43 to 50K, while the S&P is pumping up to 4,600, and then looking for an overall dump of the markets back to the downside. Okay, and it should be an impulse, and it should go. It's probably going to go below $3,000 down the road. Okay, down the road, we're probably going to get below 3,000. Probably going to retest $2,100, $2,200. It could go even lower than that. Okay, but I'm expecting a major dump over the next couple of years. Okay, that this is just going to kind of steadily fall off a cliff. There'll be times of up movements, but mainly this last pump into summertime is going to be, in my opinion, your last chance to get out of the S&P and get out of NASDAQ before a major dump happens that takes us down very, very deep. Okay, that's going to correlate also with the Bitcoin market going down very deep. That's at least my hypothesis for now. I'll let you know if I change my mind on that based on the wave structure as wave structure is moving up. But I am bullish. Let it be said right now, I'm bullish on the markets for now, upwards to about 4,600 in the S&P. Okay. All right, so that's my take on the S&P and the DXY. Tesla, looking at Tesla, guys, I'm bullish on Tesla as well, but we could be making just a three-wave move back to the upside here. In other words, this might simply be an A, B, and a C, but retesting the highs, and then so we get a pump into this zone, and then while the markets are dumping, we could be getting some kind of a move down like that. Okay, when all the other markets are moving down, it also moves down as well. It could be a much more complex dump. But if this was all we get, this could be a pump to all-time highs and much higher. $800 is going to be easy to get to, very easy to get to, if this is a bottom correction and we've now begun to pump up out of here. So $800 would be no problem to get to. In fact, I'd be looking for Tesla to get up to 1,200 over the next couple of years. Okay, we're talking 6 times the current price. So those are the possibilities. I made a video and gave you guys a buy signal in this when price was down here. I said, guys, this looks like a buy to me. It's looking really good as a buy. I told everybody that we had a breakout and a retest, 3-wave retest of this breakout on the weekly chart. That's very bullish. Okay, very bullish. That doesn't mean we can't have red weeks or several red weeks here. This could pull back several. That's fine. But we could continue to rise to the upside. So if you get a 3-wave pullback here on the weekly chart, that needs to be a buy zone for you on Tesla. This is looking very bullish. But keep in mind, if this just goes straight up, we might look at a rejection somewhere around $370 range, and then another 3-wave move back down. All depends on what the macroeconomics are looking at that time. Okay, so that's Tesla. And then natural gas, guys, I see as a major buy zone. This looks like a bottoming formation here. I mean, is natural gas going to go to zero? I imagine it could do that like oil did. But keep in mind, oil rebounded and started pumping again. Guys, natural gas isn't going anywhere. It's part of the world's commodities that are super needed all over the world. People are tied to natural gas. I think natural gas right now is about the best commodity out there to be thinking about buying right now. I mean, in this zone. I mean, we're at $2, guys. This thing is going to go. I mean, and there's a good chance that this could hyperinflate and really start getting up here to 16, 7, upwards. This could be an initial wave, a pullback, and then a continuation, Elliott style. Boom. I mean, natural gas could really start to become scarce and really more expensive, especially as we move to battery powered stuff and they mandate against natural gas. The value of natural gas might just skyrocket and become a commodity hard to get, which would drive price up. So this is the area of buying, guys. This is where you want to be thinking about investing in natural gas. I'm a big fan of the natural gas chart. Super fan. We broke out of the 3-day trend to the downside. We've broken out to the upside. I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing here. Okay? So it doesn't mean it can't play around here long. It doesn't mean it can't even make one more low here and get to $1 or $1.90 or $1.50 or whatever. It doesn't mean it can't do those things. It just means that this range down here, this is buy zone, guys, and hold for several years. Hold it for a couple of years to 5 years and see what price does in the next 5 years. I think it's a fantastic investment if you're thinking about investing natural gas. I love it. So mark this day down. I said natural gas is looking decent. I mean, guys, is natural gas just going to go away? Are we going to lose natural gas? I mean, no, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We got 5 waves to the upside. Boom. We got a 3-wave pullback. Boom. Let's go. We got to break out to the upside. Let's go here. But it hasn't pumped yet. It hasn't started pumping. So I think natural gas has a real chance of pumping. All right, we covered the news. We covered everything. All right, guys, there's 42 of you left. If you watch to the end, let me know in the comments. Come back, and I'm about to close the live down. It's been 2 hours. I've been talking straight. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. Hopefully the information you got tonight was helpful. Hopefully the invitation to the Discord was a warm invitation and convinced you that you really need to be part of things. We'll keep track of the waves for you so you won't be blind in what this market is doing. It's wearing us down, but let's stick together and look at the wave structure and let's not be afraid in these zones to be thinking, guys, they're going to probably pump the markets on us before they dump it again. So that's the way the market makers play it. So anyway, let's do it. Guys, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks for hanging around, Chemo. You're always just a great contributor. I appreciate you, man, and your long-standing friendship and your moderation of my Sunday night live. So let's all thank Chemo for doing that. And guys, appreciate you. If you made it to the end, just go ahead and make a comment in the channel and comment bubblegum. There you go. If you've we used to do those random ones, right? Bubblegum is fantastic on the moon. Let's talk about the moon and bubblegum. Any sentence with the moon and bubblegum in it, and that'll let me know you watched, you made it to the end of the live. All right, guys, have a fantastic evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Love you. Those of you wondering about my dad, I'm here in Virginia. My dad's having surgery on Tuesday. It's not cancer. It's looking like it's not cancer, which we are praising the Lord for. So I'm super thankful for that.